What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. James Marsters may have just cracked open the door to one of the most exciting possibilities in the Buffyverse in over 2 decades. During a recent appearance on Charisma Carpenter's The Bitch Is Back podcast, the actor behind the iconic vampire Spike revealed that there has been interest in him reprising the role for Hulu's upcoming continuation series, Buffy New Sunnydale. While Marsters stopped short of officially confirming anything, his comments were more than enough to ignite speculation across the fandom, especially since this marks the first time any actor from the original Buffy series has openly acknowledged potential involvement in the new series, apart from Sarah Michelle Gellar, of course. Marsters explained that he recently rewatched the original Buffy series for the first time in years, not out of nostalgia, but because of what he called this whole reboot issue. He said, "I didn't rewatch for a long time, and I recently did just because of this whole reboot issue. I had to go back and watch it just to ask myself, can you play that character again? Never mind the externals. Can you internally get back to the psychology?" That statement alone suggests that this is more than idle curiosity, as actors don't revisit a character's emotional and psychological core unless there is a genuine possibility of returning to the role. When Carpenter pressed him directly on whether Spike would appear in New Sunnydale, Marsters was careful with his words. "I am not. I have no idea. Let's see. What can I say?" He replied before finally adding, "There is interest in having me back." While vague, that phrase carries weight. It confirms that conversations are happening behind the scenes, even if no formal discussions have been made yet. However, Marsters also made it clear that fans shouldn't expect Spike to show up right away, and his reasoning actually speaks well of the creative approach behind Buffy New Sunnydale. "If I was producing the reboot, I wouldn't call me yet," he explained. According to Marsters, the show first needs to establish its new foundation. "I would have to introduce all of her friends, I would have to set up the new world, and I would have to get them into at least one new adventure together before I dropped in any of the original characters. Only after that groundwork is laid," he argues, "would it make sense to bring in legacy characters, whether they're newly imagined or pulled from the original series." Because of this, Marsters believes Spike wouldn't appear until much later, saying, "I wouldn't imagine I would be called until, at the earliest, the end of Season 1, possibly into Season 2. That's when I do it." He added that he would actually be surprised if he were contacted now, but also admitted, "I guess I would be surprised if I was not called." Taken together, these comments suggest that while Spike's return isn't imminent, it may already be part of the long-term vision for the series. To understand why Spike's potential return matters so much, it's worth revisiting where we saw him last in the Buffyverse. Spike began Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a villain in Season 2, originally intended to appear only briefly. Instead, his popularity turned him into one of the franchise's most complex and enduring characters. Over time, Spike evolved from antagonist to anti-hero, developing a deeply controversial and emotional charged relationship with Buffy Summers herself. His arc culminated in a heroic sacrifice during Buffy's series finale, where he used the amulet to destroy the Hellmouth, seemingly perishing in the process. However, Spike's story didn't end there. He was resurrected in the final season of Angel, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer spinoff, where he once again found himself grappling with redemption, identity, and his place in the world. When Angel ended, Spike's fate, along with the rest of the cast, was left unresolved due to the show's abrupt cancellation. The series concluded with the characters charging into a seemingly unwinnable battle, leaving Spike's ultimate destiny unknown. If Buffy New Sunnydale brings him back, it wouldn't just be fan service. It would provide a closure to a cliffhanger that has lingered for over 20 years. Spike's return also fits naturally with what Buffy New Sunnydale is trying to accomplish. Sarah Michelle Gellar has been clear that the new series will focus primarily on a new Slayer and her circle. with Buffy herself expected to play a smaller recurring role. Introducing Spike later, once the new characters and world are firmly established, allows him to function as a bridge between generations. He wouldn't overshadow the news story, but instead enrich it, bringing decades of history, hard-earned wisdom, and resolved emotional baggage into the present. As Buffy prepares to return, it's also worth remembering why the original series still resonates so strongly. Episodes like Doppelgangland, Something Blue, Tabula Rasa, and Once More with Feeling showcased the show's ability to balance humor, horror, and emotional depth in a way few series ever have. Spike was central to many of those moments, often embodying the show's themes of transformation, moral ambiguity, and the struggle to change who you are. For now, there's still no release date for Buffy New Sunnydale, and production details remain closely guarded. We know that the first episode has been filmed. Gellar has addressed the wait directly, saying, "I know we live in a society where we want binging. We want it now. I know this seems like it's taking a long time, and that's because unless we're sure it's exactly what we set out to do and that it makes sense to do it, we don't want to sully the legacy." She added, "When I know it's perfect, then it will be out there. But I won't do it unless I know it can be that." So while Spike's return is far from confirmed, James Marsters' comments make one thing clear. The idea is very much alive. He's revisiting the character, preparing mentally and emotionally, and acknowledging real interest from the creative team. And when Spike does finally return to Sunnydale, whether at the end of Season 1 or sometime in Season 2, it won't just be a cameo. It'll be a moment that reconnects the past, present, and future of the Buffyverse in a way only Spike ever could. Now it's your turn to tell me what you think. Are you excited to see Spike return to the Buffyverse? Would you prefer him coming into Season 1, or would you rather wait to Season 2 after things are built in the new world? Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to keep those heads on, and I'll see you guys in the next video.